Hello, for our instructional video, I will be showing you how to hook up water lines under your sink and install a drainage system using PVC pipe, which is what you see here. This is a PVC pipe. It's the plastic pipe. Now it's important to change your pipes every so often. I moved into this house and my pipes have not been changed, and I'm not changing them now. I'm just showing you how to put it together. But as you can see, there's reasons for changing it. Like you have gook on everything. Even the side here is disgusting. It's just, just build a residue. And this stuff is very cheap. I mean, you can purchase it. It won't break the bank at all. You can even change this stuff every year if you want. And then you have washers on here that tend to get a little worn down after a while. The washers is like makes like waterproof, prevents the water from cutting through. So you want to do that as well. So let's start with the supply lines. So you have hot water, cold water. They're coming out of copper pipes here, which the copper pipe isn't. Copper pipe is like kind of old school, but it's still good to use. But nowadays you see a lot of PEX pipe. PEX pipe is the colorful pipe. One is blue for cold water, red for hot water. You have to determine the size you need. This is a half inch pipe, and then you get the supply lines that goes with it. Also, you want to make sure that your water is turned off. Did I turn the water off? Okay, these are shut-off valves, but you can easily bump these or something like that to turn them back on. But I did turn the water off, so we're good. The water to the house is shut off. Also, they have better shut-off valves than these now. The newer shut-off valves are like a quarter turn. These spin all the way, and they tend to wear out the more you spin them. But the other ones are like quarter turns. So you just turn it a quarter is off, turn it back is on. So let's get to it. This is a double sink. So what we're gonna do is build the pipe, build the PVC pipe so it drains right on out the door, as you can see, right out the window, right out the wall, I should say, and it goes downstairs to the basement to sewage. Few things you need: pipe wrench and some pliers, and that's really about it. And the tool and the pipes necessary. So all we have here is a long PEX pipe, couple of supply lines. One side, actually both sides is 5/8 supply lines. These are brand new supply lines. The supply lines I have are fine. We're not installing them, but if we did have to, it just simply is unscrewing off one and putting on the other. So let's start here. Let's build this from top down. So we have here, which is basically just like your what's it called? Your three-way here. Your three-way. This is half-inch pipe, as you can see on here. It says 1/2 inch. You could buy 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch for residential. This is 1/2 inch, so that works. So we just want to. We have some leakage here, so we want to get this on here, and a lot of this can be hand tightened. So you just push that on there, and let's tighten it down a bit. Okay, that's good. We won't squeeze everything super tight right now. We want to get everything on first, and then we'll squeeze it tight. Okay. Now let's get this side on here. The long pipe. We'll put that right here. That connects it right. That connect there. You see the washer here. So what we're gonna do is, for this, we're gonna take off the cap. You see the washer is like, it's kind of disgusting. It's not in it all the way. So what we want to do is we want this clamp onto this. So we need to get it on here. So get it on there, push the washer up. Okay, now Now that's where it is. Now we get this here. Now we can screw it down. So that is screwed down now. And now we got the washer into the three-way here, or the T, whatever you want to call it. So we'll screw that in too. Not too tight, we'll tighten everything later. So now we got the P-trap. What the trap is here, the water drains down, and it drains down, it drains out. But this here is like a little, it's called a trap. It's just like a little reserve for the water, so it's not leaking anywhere. When water is not running, it's just a little bit of water that just stays down here. This is good for snaking purposes. You want to have a trap because you need to have something to bridge the gap between your start and your end. So if you didn't have a trap, and if this whole sink just went right to the basement, then if you had a clog somewhere, it'd be kind of harder to figure out where it is. But the trap kind of meets you halfway, so you could cut it off at the trap and maybe snake it out or throw some drain on it that way. And if the clog runs out, great. But if it's still clogged, at least you know, like if it's still clogged from here out to the basement, then you know it's not the sink. You have a problem below. So that's the purpose of the trap. So let's get that on there. So we just screw that down. And it gets a little stingy a little bit. But this isn't copper pipe. Good thing it's plastic, so it's more flexible. Just take your time with it and you get it. So I got that on there. And let's get this bad boy on there. And then this also. There we go. Now we can just hand tighten everything. Hand tight. You would not use the pipe wrench on these plastics. If you use a pipe wrench, it's too much force for the pipe wrench. Use a pipe wrench on the PVC, you would strip it. Hand tighten it, and with the washers and everything is good enough. Okay, this is in the way. So it looks like I gotta tighten this one before I tighten the top one, just because of how close in proximity they are. And that's it. So that's good. Now let's hook up our supply lines. The cold water is already hooked up, and this is very old pipe. Here you see these would be the new water lines, much more flexible and manageable, and I would imagine they last longer too than the galvanized or the copper. But this is as simply as connecting one unit to the next. And that's on there. Now let's tighten it up. When tightening, you want to grab one end and tighten the other. And there we go. And that's it. Now we can turn the water back on, and we'll be all set. Water running. And they got water draining. And that is all.